Andrej Stojakovic, the son of former NBA great Peja Stojakovic, has committed to the Illinois Fighting Illini. Today, we're going to be breaking down his game film and analyzing what type of impact he's going to have for the program and how he adjusts their ceiling. So stay tuned. We're rolling the game film next.
Left open, Andrej Stojakovic, three.
So let's kick this whole thing off by talking about what's probably been his biggest calling card since the high school days, and that's his ability to act as a knockdown shooter. So when you look at his last 2 years in college, his first one at Stanford, his second one at Cal, the statistics really haven't bared out that he's as good of a shooter as I believe he is. He's really shot the ball at about a low 30% clip. And when you watch him shoot the ball, it's like his form's fine, he's getting the ball off fine, and it looks like he should be a better shooter than that. And I think it all boils down to the quality of looks that he's getting based off the caliber of team he's been playing on. I think when you put him in a situation where he's going to be in Illinois, where he's probably going to have more talent around him than what he's had the past 2 years, he's going to be in a position to shoot better shots and have more open looks, and I think that's going to lead to a higher three-point percentage. Like, he's probably a guy who's going to end up in the high 30s, maybe even low 40s if he takes that kind of jump. And that's going to end up being a really good get for Illinois because, he has the pedigree, he has the background. His dad obviously could shoot the ball really well. I think he's going to be just a fine shooter. Now, shifting gears a bit, when you really get excited about Andrej Stojakovic as a prospect, it's because of his ability to create off the dribble. He became more efficient in situations where he was attacking the rim or going off of a ball screen last year. His field goal percentage shot way up. He's around 52% when he was a ball handler in a pick and roll situation when he shot the ball. His three-point field goal percent off of pick and rolls was 80%. Now, granted, that's off of 5 attempts a game. But he shows a lot of traits that make you excited. He can get downhill fast and get to the rim. He's not super explosive around the rim, but he can still get there and finish athletically. He had a couple of dunks in traffic, so you have to love that. But the mid-range game's also pretty efficient off the pick and roll. So he's able to get to his spot. He has kind of a crafty package of getting the ball off. Like, he's able to avoid contact, avoid defenders who are trying to block the shot, even help defenders. Like, he can really pull up into a floater if he needs to. All in all, though, I think this is an area of his game where it's just going to be a really good counter and allow him to grow even more as a prospect. Now, he was not a prolific passer by any stretch of the imagination last year. In fact, he had more turnovers than assists. However, I think when you look at some of the highlights of this, you see some traits that you really like. He can find that cross-court diagonal pass really well. He's willing to kick it out to shooters. What I think is going to cue and kind of be a catalyst for that next step for him is going to be to make that decision a little bit quicker. Sometimes you'll see it's like a pause. He's not making the decision fast enough. He's not processing the floor quite quick enough, and that's limiting him and creating some of those turnovers and allowing the defense to react. I think once he gets a little more mature in his game, this will be his third year in college. You want to see those decisions becoming a little snappier, a little bit quicker, and getting guys the ball in just a little bit better of a spot. And that could really spurn some growth for his game and make him even harder to guard than he is right now. Now, I wanted to wrap up these clip packages by talking about his defensive ability. And right now, I think he's not a fantastic on-ball defender. He can be slightly slow-footed at times. He makes up for it with his length. He's a long wing, 6'6", has great size. And he recovers really well, and he uses that length to his advantage. So he had 34 blocks last year, which for a wing is really high. And a lot of times it's because he closes out aggressively, he chases hard off of ball screens, and when he flies in, he takes the right angle and is able to get up quick and just get a hand on the ball. So I think that profiles well for a team that has a good defensive system in place, and I think Illinois has that. So for him, it's going to be a situation where he's just going to be able to shore up mistakes and make up and recover better than most guys can in this situation. So let's put a bow on all of this. What are my final thoughts on Andrej Stojakovic and how does he fit in with Illinois? Well, for starters, I think that he's going to bring a shooting presence that I believe is going to take a jump. He's a better shooter than the statistics have indicated over the past 2 years. So that's first and foremost. I think he's going to also be an excellent kind of secondary ball handler, someone that's going to be able to create offense when things stagnate or when you're just in need of a bucket. So from that regard, I think he's just an excellent fit for anyone, but in particular Illinois, who's had some really efficient guards at creating off the dribble. Lastly, I think on defense, he's going to fit in really well. He's going to be in a position where he can kind of erase some mistakes that he makes and also be a potentially good help defender given the length and overall athleticism that he has. So for Illinois fans, I think you should be super excited about having him as a part of your program. Now it's that time of the program where I'm curious about your thoughts. Let me know what you think, Illinois fans. How is he going to impact your team next year? Feel free to drop a comment below. I'll be sure to engage with you. But as always, I just appreciate everyone being here, being a part of the community. Please feel free to like and subscribe. It greatly helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Would love for you to see the other videos that I have coming around. If this gets a good reaction, I'll be sure to cover more of Illinois throughout the year. But thanks again for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.